Makes it 2nd and 11. Flutie with a little screen for Tomlinson. Tomlinson, 35, knocked out of bounds just as he approached the 40-yard line by Eric Brown. And let's send you back to New York for an update. Here's Jim Nance.
Thank you, Greg. Out in Tempe, Arizona, the Cardinals hand it off here to Michael Pittman. He'll take it 24 yards. The point after gives him the lead 10-9. The Chiefs have been penalized 10 times for over 100 yards. Chiefs down 1. Third quarterback to Greg and Phil.
All right, Jim.
Well, you know that last play, Greg, the screen play to Tomlinson, that's a big play for the Chargers. They need to get something going on offense to keep their defense off the field. And North Turner comes up the play, easy for the quarterback to execute.
Tomlinson for a couple yards up the middle. Picked up 3 on the play, and it'll be 2nd and 7. And LaDainian Tomlinson with 24 yards on the ground and 11 through the air for a total of 35.
2nd and 7.
Yeah, after last week, the Broncos defense, Sean Alexander running for so many yards, having that that one long, big touchdown run. They've done a good job of not giving up the big plays and not letting the Chargers offense dominate them up front with the running game.
4 wide receivers now for the Broncos, or for the Chargers rather, on 2nd and 7 on the blitz. The pass over the middle is complete across midfield. Terrell Fletcher pulled that one in. Flutie got rid of it as he was being hit.
Bill Romanowski, 53, comes through untouched. The ball just flips up in the air. Trevor Price is dropping back in coverage, number 93. Oh, nice shot. Doug Flutie's fortunate not to be hurt. Shot to the ribs.
You could see frustration all over Trevor Price as that ball floated over his head. The pitch for Tomlinson, trying to skirt the right side. And he's inside the 45 to about the 44, 43. Delpha O'Neal with the stop.
To say that Trevor Price mistimed his jump, it's just not appropriate to the word mistiming. He saw it up in the air. He jumped, and it was not even close to coming down. And oh well, he doesn't get to drop back in pass coverage too often.
Well, Trevor told us that, you know, with Doug Flutie, he makes the Chargers feel like they have a chance to win and score points, and they're in every game with his scrambling ability. He also did say he's the only quarterback in the league who stands straight up behind the center. Flutie goes down.
Oh, they found a blitz they like. That's twice they've run the same blitz, and twice the linebacker has come free. First it was Romanowski. This time it's going to be Al Wilson. Messed it up. Yep, it is him. He came from the inside. Romanowski was on the blitz too. They picked him up. Nobody there for Al Wilson.
Wilson on the sideline. He goes to the side as Flutie and the Chargers look at 3rd and 14. Flutie over the middle. Graham had it and dropped it. Flutie was under pressure again, but delivered what appeared to be a catchable ball.
John Mobley comes free. The linebacker, 51. From the outside, Flutie sees it, anticipates the throw. Oh, and the throw is perfect. You were right, Greg.
So Delpha O'Neal back for the punt. And this one is high. O'Neal, fair catch call, and he lets it bounce, and it's going to roll into the end zone for the touchback. 20-yard line is where we'll get things underway right after this. NFL.com. Mike Anderson flanked as a wide receiver as Brian Greasy spreads the field on 1st down. Has time over the middle, and he threaded a pass just over the 30-yard line to Rod Smith for a 1st down.
Brian Greasy throws more passes like this than anybody I see in professional football, but it takes a receiver like Rod Smith. Look at that, fighting through the first defender, Harrison, and right in front of Gerald Dixon to make the catch, and takes a big hit. And just gets up, does it again if you ask him to.
Rod Smith, 7 catches, 65 yards on the day. To the ground game, Anderson right side, and the football is loose. Football is loose, picked up by the Chargers. Jason Perry, a defensive back. Just like that, another momentum swing.
Mike Anderson runs into the pile, and it looks like everybody almost stops because they think the play is over, and Zeke Marino. Oh, that was close. I wasn't looking to see if he was down or not. But then Jason Perry, number 31, picks it up.
So now the Chargers with the ball at the 38-yard line of the Denver Broncos. And we are going to get a challenge, I believe.
I couldn't tell for the first replay because I didn't know if it would be close. But I was watching Mike Shanahan. They were looking.
Denver is challenging the ruling on the field that the ball was fumbled.
Now, if this doesn't come through for the Denver Broncos, that will be their second time out of this half.
Well, let's watch it as close as we can, see if we can pick up something. It's close, but that's not a good shot. Here's going to be the... Okay, if you run that play, that right there, if you run it back again, if you look at his left leg, that's going to be the determining factor. Not his right. Look at his left knee. Mike Anderson, as he goes down, you can see the ball, and it's coming out, and that's going to be a fumble.
You sure about that?
I'm sure. I'm always sure.
We have 4:18 to play here in the third quarter.
Well, what'd you think?
I thought it was a fumble.
We really don't care, but I'm just asking to be nice. I think it's a fumble too, though, Greg.
But it's an interesting twist that this game could take. So many opportunities lost by the Chargers in the first half. And I mentioned to you, it looked like that this game had taken a big turnaround in favor of the Denver Broncos. And now up comes this fumble.
It had turned for the Denver Broncos. That's why Mike Shanahan challenged the play. He knows it's big.
After reviewing the play, the ruling on the field stands. The runner was losing the football before his knee hit. Denver has charged their second charge timeout.
So Anderson's fumble turns the ball over, and the Broncos are down to just one timeout remaining here in the second half.
You know, when I see situations like that, I think a lot of times the coaches ask, well, did you fumble, Mike? And the player doesn't really know. It all happened so fast. I don't know. They don't know if their knee's on the ground or not.
Here's Tomlinson dancing through the line from outside to the 31-yard line. Chester McLaughlin makes the stop. Pick up of 2, and it'll be 2nd and 8.
You know, we had the chance, and we talked to Trevor Price last night. The first thing he said, the defensive line, we've got to play well. We've got to take away the running game of the San Diego Chargers, and they've done a good job of that today. And they're daring the Chargers to make the pass plays. The pass plays have been there. The Chargers haven't taken advantage of it.
Comes another blitz. It's pick up. Mooney throws this side, complete to Curtis Conway inside the 20-yard line. That's a first down. Conway's first catch of the day.
Well, we got Bill Romanowski on the inside in the blitz. It's not one of the complicated ones that we've seen from the Broncos. Nice protection, and Flutie gets to step up and just get everything into it. Nice route, nice throw. Can't stop that.
19-yard line of the Denver Broncos. First down, San Diego. LaDainian Tomlinson. A the middle. You know, we've mentioned a couple of times today about how Mike Shanahan was so disappointed in his troops last week that he had them in pads and hitting. And Trevor Price said, you know, we didn't mind hitting. He said, kind of work off the frustration.
Yeah, that's right. He liked it. Of course, they practice at a very high speed anyway, the Denver Broncos.
But Trevor said, you know, there's nothing that we need to correct. He said, when you need correcting, you need new guys. We just need to straighten things out and step it up a little bit.
Well, the one thing is, Greg, the other big thing is in this game today is that I think the Broncos have shown better energy, being more physical and executing a lot better on defense than they did last week.
Chester McLaughlin off the field, shaken up, has been replaced by Jerry Johnson, the second-year defensive tackle out of Florida State. 2nd and 9 for Flutie and the Chargers. Flutie, quick pass, that's complete. Jeff Graham, touchdown. Delta O'Neal went for the interception and missed it.
You described it perfectly, Greg. Blitz, picked up, nice throw. Delta, oh boy, did that just get by him. Nice catch by Jeff Graham.
Head coach Mike Riley says, oh, you betcha. Jeff Graham with his first touchdown of the season.
Oh, it's great to watch Mike Riley, his reactions.
Extra point is up and good. The Chargers had seen their lead dwindle to 3. They're now up by a score of 20-10 on the touchdown pass. Flutie to Graham, who not so long ago dropped a pass on 3rd down that would have kept the Chargers drive alive. Scores on the touchdown pass from Doug Flutie. And now the kickoff, Chris Cole from the 5 to the 20. And across the 30 to about the 33-yard line, tripped up by Derek Harris. Well, here's our NFL.com interactive poll for today. Your team has 2 minutes left, 80 yards to go, no timeouts, and you're down 4 points. Which quarterback do you want leading your team? Just log on and cast your vote at NFL.com. The guys in the truck are writing in Sammy Baugh.
You know, the bad thing is, I'm on that poll. Did you see that?
I saw it.
I wouldn't even vote for myself.
All right, Brian Greasy looking to rally the Broncos here. Olandis Gary takes the handoff, tries the left side, and is run out of bounds. Ryan McNeil ran him out, and here's Armin Katayan. Armin.
Greg, things are definitely heating up down here on the Broncos sideline. Al Wilson and Denard Walker just exchanged a few heated words together, some finger pointing, and Denard had to be separated from the, I guess you'd call it a confrontation, by an assistant coach. And then Wilson is still barking at him. Back to you.
Thanks, Armin.
Well, you know what? That's okay. It's all right. You know, when things are not going well, friction, it tells you they care. There's a lot of emotion out there, so they'll get over it.
And Greasy trying to get rid of it. The pass is incomplete. Rayleigh Johnson and the ex-Denver Bronco Ma'atanavasa were in on him together.
Well, you hear about momentum all the time in these games, and we're sitting here in the stadium, the crowd, you can look at the San Diego Chargers bench. Everybody's excited about the touchdown they just saw, and we're seeing the play in the defense now too.
Big 3rd and 12 for the Broncos, and timeout is called. Olandis Gary called timeout. The whistle blows. Greasy still gets run over. And that play doesn't count.
The snap. Number 22 Denver called timeout. There will be no play. It'll still be 3rd down. Timeout, Denver.
But keep in mind, that is Denver's 3rd and final timeout of this first half.
Well, you brought up that point to me earlier in the game, Greg, how you listen. You know what I say about timeouts. Watch Olandis Gary in the backfield. You can see the signal for the timeout as the clock's running down. but Brian Greasy had the clock under control. The ball was going to be snapped with 1 second to go. But timeouts, use them in the first half whenever you need them. In the second half, under no circumstances do you use them, because you have to save them for the end of the game, so they'll give you a chance to, hopefully a chance to win the game if you need them.
Well, Denver has used 2, and they lost 1 when a challenge failed.
And generally, the rule would be with the team, don't worry, the quarterback will take care of it. Don't you call a timeout. That's the quarterback's job. You remember me saying all those things?
I remember.
Okay.
Plus, you write them down, make me take them on the plane with me.
Thank you.
Brian Greasy's 3rd down attempt, 4 out of 5 for 43 yards. He's looking now at a 3rd and 13. He needs the 42-yard line for a first down. Penalty marker down. The pass is incomplete over the middle, and it appears the Broncos are going to get charged with a hold here, as number 99, Ray Lee Johnson, was about to bear down on the quarterback.
That's right. It's going to be Trey Teague against Ray Lee Johnson.
Holding, number 70. Offense, penalty is declined. 4th down.
Trey Teague, the left tackle. Ray Lee Johnson, there's the matchup. Is such a good-looking athlete. Not only is he a defensive end with speed, but you can see he has that little movement where he can go inside or outside. Makes it tough for a tackle to block him one-on-one.
Every little spark this Charger defense gets means a lot. Remember, Junior Seau likely gone for the rest of the day. This punt bounces and takes a Broncos roll, and it's going to come to a stop at the 6-yard line. And then a little pushing and shoving after the whistle. 60-yard punt for Tom Ruin. Tonight on CBS, even if the U.S. military does get Osama bin Laden, are there more just like him ready to take over? Ed Bradley has that story tonight on 60 Minutes, followed by Academy Award winner Richard Dreyfuss in the new hit series, The Education of Max Bickford. And then don't miss an all-star cast and an inspirational true story, the CBS Sunday movie Jennifer. That's all tonight on CBS. Now, let's see what happens with momentum here. Terrific punt by Tom Ruin. Special teams gets good field position all the way down to the 11-yard line. And if the Broncos can stop the Charger offense here, Brian Greasy's going to get some decent field position out of it. The pitch for Tomlinson, trying the right side, penalty marker is down, and he is knocked out of bounds at about the 8-yard line.
I'd say you decline the penalty. See, I like to play coach every now and then.
Holding, number 44, offense. Penalty is declined. 2nd down.
See, I'd like to be an NFL coach. I just don't want to put in that 90 hours a week they have to do the job.
We were talking with Mark Banker on Friday. We said, where are you going now? He said, I'm going home to see my wife for the first time in 3 or 4 days.
I know. The work is, you just can't imagine the time that these coaches have to put in to get ready for all the situations that can come up during a football game.
He said his wife Debbie knew she was marrying a coach. Straight ahead running room. Tomlinson 20, 25, out to the 29-yard line and a first down. Eric Brown dragged him down after a 19-yard gain.
Well, something you can always count on in the league when you're talking about defensive linemen, when there's a passing situation, 2nd and long, they want to go up the field. And you see the the Broncos defensive lineman went up the field. The draw play goes right up the middle and gets a big first down for the Chargers.
That is a big first down, too.
Denver was absolutely playing pass, and the draw play caught him by surprise.
And with that, the 3rd quarter will come to an end. That is the end of the 3rd quarter with our score. The Chargers 20 and the Broncos 10. We'll come back after this message and a word from your local station. You're watching the NFL on CBS. To rely on LaDainian Tomlinson. He has most of his rushing yardage and most of his touchdowns in the 2nd half. Flutie gives to the rookie, and the rookie across the 30 to about the 32-yard line. Chester McLaughlin back in the lineup makes the stop.
Well, these kind of situations, Greg, it's, sorry, but it's made now. The quarterback and the receivers, they can do what they want. It's about executing, because you know what you're going to get outside. The Broncos are going to do everything they can to stop the run and keep the Chargers from eating the clock up. They're going to make them throw this football.
Flutie's going to do that right here.
He's
Pulls
open.
it down the sideline, has his man, and Curtis Conway can't catch up.
That was the game. It's open for the touchdown. But Doug Flutie needed about a half a second longer to throw this. Everybody near the line of scrimmage, and Keith Washington, number 97, is going to get there just a little before Doug Flutie can get up underneath the football. Double move. Excellent move by Conway. He's gone. It is a touchdown.
And by the way, Tay Cody is on this side of the field now.
And on the other side, Jeff Graham was running across the middle. He was wide open too.
That's when the other team is on the field, Phil.
Okay.
Flutie from the shotgun. Points a receiver to go downfield. He's running out of time and throws it now incomplete. Ian Gold, Kavika Pittman applying the pressure to Flutie, who could have been thrown for a huge loss. Instead, is able to throw it incomplete. Doug Flutie, through his years in the CFL, the USFL, Chicago Bears, New England Patriots, Buffalo Bills.
Nothing but cold weather sites.
Oh.
Now he's in San Diego. Maybe the best climate in the National Football League for a quarterback. Wow.
What a punt. O'Neal shakes off the tackler at the 20 and forward to about the 24-yard line, but what a kick by Darren Bennett. 13:54 to play, and Doug Flutie trying to stay out of harm's way, and does so just barely.